All right, I'm back with David Azizi from the law offices of David Azizi, and this video is not going to be necessarily as informative about law as some of the previous videos we've done, but it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be interesting to many people. And on the davidazizipersonalinjury.com website, there's a resource that explains car accidents and why so many car accidents happen in Los Angeles. And in that resource, it shows the top 10 most congested highways that have the most accidents. And 7 of the top 10 are in Los Angeles, with two of the others being in San Francisco and 1 being in New York. So David, why is it that there's just so much traffic and so much craziness going on as far as vehicles in Los Angeles?
Well, it's the place to be, I guess you can say, for everybody, because California, as far as you can get unanimously from everybody who would say, it's the weather. That's what everybody enjoys. It's the weather, and one of the good things about California is that it's very diverse. So you got the whole entire world, and if they decide to say, okay, where am I going to go to where I can find somebody of my own kind? It's California. Now, there's people like that in New York as well and some other states, but where California leads the way is just the weather. You know, most of the time, majority of the time, the weather is nice and warm here. When you do want to get away and get some snow, you can get Big Bear Mountain or Mammoth and go ski and do what you like to do to get that winter feeling, and then come back to LA again, which is the nice weather, or California. San Francisco tends to be a little bit cooler, but in general, California is a place where people like, because a lot of jobs, a lot of the industries are here in California, so that's part of the reason. And so, as you can imagine, the other place I want to say is the beach. A lot of people want to go to have the warm weather, beach kind of weather. You can go to Santa Monica Beach. There's the Marina del Rey. There's a lot of nice places here that you can go to. And when you have all these people, and in California, unfortunately, public transportation is not used as much as other states in the United States. So everybody has a car here. That's why California is known for having one of the worst smog situations for the state. That's because everybody's driving. I mean, nobody here takes any public transportation. You rarely ever see anybody using a bike to go from one place or another. There are some people, but not as many as other states. So you get a lot of cars, a lot of trucks, and like I said, there's a lot of people bringing in products into the state of California, which is the truck drivers and things of that nature. And that's why we got the most congested freeways, because everybody wants to drive their car. Nobody wants to carpool. Everybody wants to have their own autonomy. Everybody wants to go to the place they want. And also we get a lot of tourists. We've got a lot of tourists coming into town, to California, to visit and go. So that's probably why I would suspect. I'm not a expert on this area, but that's my 2 cents as to why I think California has the worst congested freeways in the United States.
Well, and you bring up a good point that kind of struck me, was the weather's always nice, so people aren't going to stay in their homes in the middle of the day. Even if there's a a stay-at-home mom with 3 children, she doesn't want to sit at home with the 3 kids all day. If the weather's nice, she's going to hop in the van or hop in the sport utility vehicle and go drive around. And you're right, in other areas, I mean, me living in North Carolina, let me tell you what, in the last week we've had snow where people just don't drive, and if they do drive, it's really bad. I imagine there's a lot of accident cases in North Carolina this week. But you're right, I think the weather does it all, because people want to get out and about. And I mean, the one question I will ask, is there ever not traffic in Los Angeles?
Well, I would say probably, like we just had the President's Day holiday, traffic was lighter. It flowed. There's always traffic. It's just a matter of it's light and the vehicles are actually moving instead of the usual stop and go during the congested times, which is early in the mornings and toward the afternoon around 5 or 6. So yes, there are days, and there was one day which the 405 was clear and there was no vehicles going forward, but that's because they were widening the freeway and the whole freeway was closed, and you could see the whole freeway being empty, but that was the only time I've ever seen the 405 freeway empty. And I've driven on the 405 freeway. I think that's probably one of the ones which is really congested, and that's why they're now widening it, and they spend all this money because it was kind of like a bottleneck. You get to a certain portion, and then all the cars would just all slow down, and then that would cause a backup miles and miles. Now what they're doing is they're widening it up so that you don't have that bottleneck effect. But I think that will only last for a little while before it starts getting congested. But that's the only time I've seen the 405 clear is when they close it down.
That's very interesting. It's funny because I can probably go out right now on Interstate 40 and there's only a couple cars right next to my apartment, and it's crazy. I've never been there. I'm gonna have to experience Los Angeles. But if you would like to know more about Los Angeles traffic and get more information about it, I will put a link to the davidazizipersonalinjury.com article. It's a very in-depth article. It's David Azizi is going to continue to update that article, so it's going to be extremely valuable. If you've ever been in a car accident in Los Angeles or the state of California, make sure to contact the law offices of David Azizi. You will see the phone number above in the YouTube video, and you will also see in the info below. Thank you for your time, David.
All right, thank you.